Hey, Gia.
Hey, Beth, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Girl, I'm doing good. Hanging in there.
I know that's right. Well, thank you for being on my podcast. I really appreciate it, even though you always support me. So,
Yes,
nothing new.
girl, yes. Thank you for the opportunity. And you know I love seeing you win out here. So anything I can do to support you, I'm there.
Thank you. So, tell me a little bit about yourself. What work history do you have?
So I have been working in the Akron community for now 20 years. I'm not even that old, but I've been working for 20 years. I worked at the clinic for over 13 years. And more recently, I work in mental behavioral health on the leadership team.
Oh, wow. So, what are things that you love the most about your job?
I love helping people. Right now, I work in mental health, and I think there's a lot of stigma around mental health.
Yes.
There's a lot of mental health issues right now going on with COVID. People are isolated. People are experiencing things they never experienced beforehand. So just working to help alleviate some of those things to me is rewarding. So I really enjoy that. And I've done some work on autism. A lot of people know, or people may not know, but I do have a son with autism. So I've done a lot of work at the clinic with helping them become an autism friendly hospital.
Wow.
Yeah, it was an amazing project. I just enjoyed every minute of it. I look at it as something that's going to impact my son in the future, and people that are who also have autism or whatever kind of developmental disability. So that's that's my passion purpose is autism, but I work in mental health right now.
Wow. So, what do you think about what's so important right now with people dealing with mental health during this pandemic right now?
Yeah, like I said, they're isolated. They've experienced things that they've never experienced before: loss of job, lack of food and resources, and things like that. So that's really created some mental health issues for people, and just kind of being in a space of uncertainty, like not knowing what's next. I kind of live in that same space every day because I've never lived through a pandemic, and this is a lot of our first times living through a pandemic. So
Yes.
I think those create mental health issues all in themselves, dealing with those things on a daily basis. So I definitely feel like that's something right now that's creating a lot of need and necessity for more mental health resources.
Yes, that is so true. So,
Mhm.
speaking of mental health, could you tell me about your childhood trauma experience?
Yeah, so I'm really proud of being able to turn my traumatic experiences into triumph. I dealt with a lot as a child. I grew up in a single family home with a single mom, and my mom didn't have a support system or anything like that. So it basically left her to depend on people that she probably wouldn't have normally depend on. My mom, first and foremost, is one of the most amazing women I've ever known. She's one of the strongest women. I feel like at some point I got to find a way to give her an award and, and do something to make her happy. I mean, she's just been through so much, and she continues to strive, and she continues to support and be there for other people. So first and foremost, let me say that. But my mom, like I said, both her parents died when we were before I was born, so she didn't have that support system. So sometimes we were left to kind of be cared for by other people, and as a result of that, I was molested as a child more than one time. I blame myself for one reason because I felt like I was playing dress up or grown up or whatever else, and I kind of blamed myself, growing up. But I've learned to overcome those things, and I don't blame myself today. But it did affect me, but I've learned how to cope with it and move forward. And I just, like I said, I was raised with a mom that was a single
Right.
parent. So, I had to kind of grow up before I was ready to. She didn't have people around her willing to support us when we needed money or groceries or things like that. So that made me that's part of why I am the way I am now. Like I don't really, there's nothing I feel like I can't learn to do. So if it's fix a pipe or whatever else, I feel like I'll learn how to do it because I've been, I've grown up in that kind of environment where I had to kind of step up and be the strong person. So
Right. So could you tell me about you being molested at a young age with your mom had no choice but to work hard and do things to support you and your brother? What advice could you give a mother that does work a lot and she has no choice but to leave her children with other people and not knowing if their child is being molested or not? What are some of the things that you would do now that your mom didn't know what to do then as far as being aware of it?
well, it's sad, but it was a family member, so my mom definitely felt like she could trust them. I just would tell people to ask your kids questions, talk to them often, make sure you have that open dialogue with them and they feel comfortable, coming to you and talking to you about those things. We definitely have always had that open dialogue and relationship with my mom and been able to, talk to her about anything we've experienced. So I think it was more so me and my brother just being afraid, because it was something that we didn't know. We were young and we didn't know, what we were dealing with. But we did tell my mom eventually, and it did stop, So I'm glad that we felt strong enough at some point to talk to her about that.
Yeah. And that's a blessing that you were able to talk to her about it, because it's some people that aren't able to talk to their parents of that nature, or even go through things where if they do tell someone, they don't believe them.
Right.
What is your advice to individuals that don't believe them when they are telling the truth?
What did you say again?
What advice could you give someone when they child do experience that, as far as them as someone not believing them?
I feel like a child is not going to say something just to say it. There's always normally signs and symptoms that come along with molestation and abuse. Pay attention to the signs and symptoms. If your child is being, isolated, if you feel like they're not talking, or if they're acting out and just being different, check those things out. Pay attention to those things. I think the most important thing is to know your child, and to pay attention to signs when they're acting out or being different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true, because I'm witnessed parents tell their child, no, you didn't, don't say that, he would never do that, different things of that nature when it comes to a boyfriend or even a family member. And sometimes that family member, depends on their age, they've done it to them before too.
Right.
So it usually happens more than once
Right.
somewhere in the family. It's just nobody never even exposed it.
And it's important to expose it, because when you ignore those kind of issues, you're just leaving more people to become a victim. There's more people that can be victimized by that person. I feel like, an abuser or a pedophile is somebody with some kind of that's a problem. That's a illness, a mental illness in my opinion. So it's not going to stop. It's going to continue. They're going to victimize somebody else. So I feel like, don't cover that up. Definitely report that, because you could be saving a lot of people.
Yes, definitely. So what was your overcome after going through that? Because even though you did say you're past it, you're healed and everything, what are different traumas that you suffered during that time when you were in process of healing?
So I felt like I felt like my life was meant to be full of trauma at one point. I felt like, one thing happened after another. A lot of people don't know this, and I normally don't talk about it, because I feel like people have always judged me based upon this, or would judge me, based upon, some of the things that I've encountered or experienced. But a lot of people don't know that I actually, me and my mom both end up raising 3 children, my niece and nephews. My niece and nephews were in an unsafe environment. And at age 19, I went and brought my youngest niece home from the hospital. And that was in 2001. That's telling my age, but she'll be 19 next week or the week after, on November 30th. And me and my mom raised her. I supported my mom and I was a mother figure to them. And it was 3 of them. So my oldest nephew is 21. My youngest niece is 18. My middle niece is 20. So they're all stair-stepped, but me and my mom raised them since 2001. And that kind of having that amount of stress on you as a 19-year-old to be a mother to 3 children, it was a lot. It was really hard for me. I actually was in school at the time, majoring in biology pre-med. A lot of people know I was in school, and I really
Yes, I remember those days.
I dreamed of being a doctor. I wanted to be an emergency medicine physician. That was my dream and goal, and I actually was working on it. And it just became too much trying to balance school and balance PTA activities, balance homework with the kids and birthday parties and everything else. I really wanted to make sure that they didn't miss out on things in life because, they had to be raised by somebody else other than their mom. So that was an important role for me. I took that role and I really tried to do my best, and give them the best life I could. And I hope today that they recognize that and they see that I did. I try to make sure they didn't miss out on anything. I love them though. They taught me a lot. They really taught me how to be a mom, first and foremost, and they taught me about being patient. And I look at some of the things that they've dealt with, and I think if they smile and they're happy and they're still living life with despite all the things they've dealt with, then I should have an excuse. I need to be happy. I need to be smiling. I need to keep going because these young kids, these babies over here are still smiling and happy and living life to the fullest. So I've learned a lot from them, and I've grown from my role as their mom or mother figure.
Yes, but you was a mother early though. Like even when we was younger, you still act like a mother.
I don't know. It's just part of who I am. But
yeah.
And then a lot of people don't know, like, well, a lot of people do know I have a brother. Not only is he my brother, but my best friend. And
yes,
it's always just been me, my mom, my brother, and I, like, that's my road dog. That's my best friend. He's the person that I talk to about everything. And years ago, he got into some trouble and actually went to prison. A lot of people don't know that about my life as well, but
right.
that really sent me into a deep depression. I blame myself, for my brother going to prison because all my life since I was a little girl, I protected him, and I felt like that one time I didn't protect him and he went to prison. And I still, struggle with that today. Like I still, I get somewhere and I get in my feelings and I still cry about it today because I'm like, if I only could have protected him, if I only could have, stopped him from doing whatever he did, or if I only would have been there, I could have stopped him. And I've always felt responsible for him. I realized when I was 5 or 6 years old and my brother was different. Now having a son that's, that has autism, I actually always believed that my brother, has some kind of developmental disability. So I really felt like he never had the capacity to make some decisions that he made. And I just always felt like I was responsible for him. So when he went to prison, it's been hard. My mom, she didn't think I was going to make it. I really was, it was really hard for me, but I just pray about it. And, I'm glad that he's alive, but it bothers me every day, girl.
Yeah, I know. And it's been some years. How are you coping as far as having that strong relationship still with him, even though he is away?
I talk to him every day, and I think one of the best things I can do for him, and which I have done, is raise his children with my mom, supporting them and making sure that they have everything they need, making sure that they're successful and trying to keep them on the right track. I think that's the best way that I can support him, as well as to keep our relationship close, because that means a lot to him. Making sure his children, are taken care of is something that's important to him. So, doing that every day. And, I think that's one of the things I've done.
Yeah, that is. But how do you take care of Gia though? Literally through our conversation already in a matter of 14 minutes. How do you take care of you? Because you always the one taking care of everybody.
Sometimes that's the thing I don't do. I don't take care of myself. I'm the last person I think about. Part of that's me just being a selfless person. That's how God made me. And I feel like part of me being a selfless person is God's work. I'm doing God's work. So if you call it taking care of myself, I think I meditate sometime, and I work on things that I want to achieve. At some point, I'm working on those things It's not my mic. I think it's your mic.
It's okay. It's gonna go in and out sometime.
Yeah. At some point, I wasn't taking care of myself. I wasn't working on me and working on achieving the things I wanted to achieve. So I think that's how I take care of Gia. I keep going and working on, my dreams and my goals.
That's good. Have you drawn a professional inspiration from other women for you to even be the Gia that you are today? Because you always, giving, giving, giving. So who's giving to you?
It's been a lot of people, in my opinion, that have given to me. One person that's given to me, and I kind of talk about this, and she gave me a whole new perspective on life and really, really kind of helped me come out of a depression, I feel like, is my friend Brandy. She called me this one day and it's like, Gia, I want to do a life coaching session with you. I said, a life coaching session with me? I said, oh, I don't know about that. She's like, yeah, I'm trying to, work, I'm trying to become a life coach and, I want to see how that goes. And she's like, I just want to try it out on you. I was like, okay, go ahead. Sure. That one half an hour life coaching session changed my life tremendously. Like, I love Brandy and I will forever owe her. She just made me think what it is I want to do with my life. And she took me out of a place of, thinking about accomplishing things to actually doing those things and actually accomplishing things. So when I'm not, when I'm going to being ambitious and trying to achieve certain things, I become Miss Lighthouse. So that's my little nickname from Brandy is Miss Lighthouse. So when you see me out here in the community trying to be involved and trying to, create opportunities and resources, I'm being Miss Lighthouse.
Yeah. That's good that you are, that you have someone in your life that has done that for you, because that is very rare. A lot of people, especially people that pour into other people, it's kind of hard for them to even find people to do the same for them. So it's good that you do have that.
And I have, and besides, Brandy being a life coach, I have my mother, of course, too.
Yeah.
If this woman had been through all she'd have been through and she keep going, then I don't have a choice. And then I have some cousins that are out here doing some amazing things. I have Sean Lake Carey's one of my cousins, and then I've got Candace Jones, Tamisha, and Mashawn. And they are all our powerhouses. I gotta step my game up. I want to be in the pack with them. They're all doing some amazing things, and it just inspires and motivates me too. So, and I mean, look at you, Beth. You're inspiring me to do a podcast. I mean, there's women like you as well who are an inspiration to me.
Thank you. I got you. That ain't no mystery right there.
But I never forget one lady that's special to me. And I met her in a leadership training. Her name is Jan Conrad. And this lady, when I say she advocates and mentors for me and sponsors me in rooms, when they say hang with a woman that'll mention you in a room full of opportunities when you're not there,
yeah,
woman. So she's just, I love her, and she's just been such a great support and an advocate for me. So I mean, I can't thank them enough for all that they've done for me, from inspiring me to advocating for me to mentoring and coaching me. I just got a heck of a support system, girl.
That's good, and that's a blessing. What makes you proud of yourself?
What makes me proud of myself is I've overcame a lot. I mean, people counted me out. They said, "Oh, I don't think you're gonna graduate from school. I can't see you doing this. I can't see you doing that." And I was like, wow, that kind of motivated me. But my kids, I just want to create opportunities for them. I really want to make sure they have, live life to the fullest. And I set that foundation for them at an early age and set them up to be successful. So that motivates and inspires me. But another thing is I start living life from a new perspective. There's nothing out of my reach. So whatever it is,
yes,
girl, I'm like, oh, I want to do that. Oh, I can do that too.
Yeah.
I just think of it like that. I just think of my life now. I live life in that perspective that there's nothing out of your reach, Gia. You can do whatever it is that you want to do. It all starts within decisions you make. And so if you want to get to point B and you at point A, honey, make that decision to get to point B.
Yeah.
So that's how I live life.
That is so true. And with you even having that thought process, sometimes people would think like, oh, she too good, or the fact that, oh, you think you can do that but I can do this, or you stuck up and all that. It's amazing how sometimes people will take you being confident of yourself to another level of you thinking you better than somebody, when it's the fact of you loving yourself enough to want more to your life. And a lot of people need to start realizing that they can do the same things that you're doing. They probably can even do it a lot better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, girl. And that's exactly like I'm the same person that I've always been. I'm just the same person with a different perspective, and I'm on a mission. So I'm on a mission to accomplish everything I set out to accomplish. And I have several projects that I'm working on right now, that I can't wait till I'm done, and I can introduce them to everybody. But I'm on a mission to be the best me. I mean, mentally, physically, spiritually, financially. I just want to be the best Gia, and I'm
Yes,
constantly working on her every day.
yes, that's good. I mean, we always have room to grow. A
Yeah,
lot of us, it takes many, many years for us to even be in a certain mindset that we have. But a lot of people got to realize it's a growing process of each age.
yep,
Each month, it doesn't matter what it is. You could
yep,
be 50, 60 years old and you will learn a lesson and you still have growing.
yep. And that's what I do. I try to surround myself around people that I can grow from. So I like women like you. I'm always ready to and willing to learn something new. So I try to always surround myself around people that I can grow from. Like even my friends, I got an amazing group of friends. Like they also make me think I can take on the world. My friends like, girl, you can do that. You can do that. And
That's
I think
good.
that's important to surround yourself around friends that are going to uplift you instead of tear you down. Surround
Yeah.
yourself around friends that want to see you win, and aren't jealous or looking for your downfall. That's important for me.
Yeah, it's very important. Where did you gain your spiritual strength from to make you continue on to go on daily?
So part of dealing with trauma and coping with trauma, I really focused on my relationship with God. That relationship is the most important relationship in my life, and I use my relationship with God to give me strength. I use that to guide my decisions, and I use that to direct my path. So whatever God has planned for me, I just say, God, please let me know what you want me to do next. And sometimes when I'm dealing with things, I ask God, what am I supposed to learn here? Because I believe that God,
Right.
teaches you things, with certain things that happens in your life. So I think that that's important for me. Part of me coping with trauma and part of me just growing as a person. I've really strengthened my relationship with God.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because I think more or less of me growing so much mentally,
Mm-hmm.
I have grew a stronger relationship with God, and he talks to me. I hear him. I sometimes I may even see different things that I didn't even imagine that I could see or even feel at that very moment, and that's when you have that anointing in you to a fact that you could grow mentally, physically, emotionally, and everything. And it's a good feeling. And I know you know that feeling.
Girl, like I listen, I be over here by myself and I just start praising him because it looked impossible. It looked impossible. And at some point in time, one day on another podcast, I have to tell you about my testimony because that God showed up in them situations. It couldn't have been nobody but God, because I wouldn't be in any of the places I'm in. I wouldn't be in my home. I wouldn't be, some of the doors wouldn't have opened for me if it wasn't for God.
Hmm. And he works in mysterious ways. Even when we go through storms in our life, we have to understand the process of that storm and what we need to do when we are encountering it. Because sometimes if we make our lives continue to be chaotic, going through a storm, it gets worse.
Mhm.
But if we analyze and pay attention to things that's going on during that time, we have to try not to make those same mistakes that we made during that time for us to be in that situation. And just a process of growing,
Mhm.
it just feels good to grow.
Right.
It feels good to grow, and it feels good to heal. And when you even recognize the things that you are doing, the toxic of within you, because we can be toxic too. So if we notice those things and we want to grow from it and understand it, it helps us be a better person.
Yeah, definitely. And, like I said, some of my, my life experiences and, some of the trauma and stuff that I've experienced, I've grown from that. I use that to empower me in several aspects of my life. I use that to empower me both personally, professionally. You can turn trauma is bad, however you want to put it, but
Yeah.
it's you can look at it in a different way. Use your trauma to empower you. Use it to inspire you to do better. Use it to motivate you. Carry it in a way to make you a better person. I just value and appreciate people more. I look at life and I have a different value and a perspective on life just because of some of the things I've encountered. I just appreciate life more, from a lot of things I've dealt with. So some people like, why are you so chipper and happy? It's just when you experience certain things, instead of being in a negative space or being sad all the time, you look at life and think about all the things you should celebrate and be thankful and grateful and happy about.
Yeah, cherishing the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you cherish the moment, live your life and eliminate all the negative things that could be in your life, it makes you just want your peace more than actually doing things or being around people that's like that, because it do be real toxic and it do make you feel down. It puts you in depression also.
Yeah.
And who wants that feeling every single day?
Right. And I just, I look at life and life is so precious. It's life is short, and I just want to be here. I got 2 boys to raise. My youngest son has autism. And that's been a challenge for me. But I look at life is precious. I feel like I have more empathy and I'm more forgiving of people at this point, just because I realize how precious life is, and I always realize that I could be worse off. I'm grateful for where I'm at. I'm grateful for all the challenges I face. I'm grateful whatever process that God, has me go through, because it could be worse.
Yeah, it definitely can. And I think we need to realize that more, especially during this pandemic of just people just passing left and right. It don't even have to be just them catching COVID. It could also be something of them being murdered or sleep, just going to not waking up in the morning.
Right.
So it's the things where we need to look and reevaluate a lot of things so that we can find our peace and our safe haven and everything, so that we could be fine with ourselves and love ourselves enough to want more out of life while we are still here.
Right. You're right. Yeah, that's exactly how I feel.
Yes. So it be difficult sometimes.
Yeah, it is. It's difficult, but I definitely feel like, like I said before, hey, to motivate you and to inspire you. Don't let those things, put you down or, put you in a space. Let those things motivate and inspire you and empower you to do more.
Yes, definitely. So as far as doing more, have you ever seek therapy even though you've been through so much? Have you ever seeked it for yourself?
Yep. One of the things that are one of the times this current time has reminded me that I do need therapy. Being isolated, and just being able to sit back for a minute and kind of collect my thoughts, I was like, wow, some of the things that I'm dealing with, some of my behaviors are because of some of the trauma that I dealt with. So I did seek therapy. I'm currently in therapy right now. And I'm not ashamed of it, honey. Not ashamed of it at all.
That's good though. But some people do be ashamed of it. Some people don't want to go to it. So that's good that you're doing that for yourself.
I realized that I can't be the best Gia until I do it. So I'm okay with it.
That's good. So tell me, what is one word that perfectly explains who you are?
Wow. I would say strong. I'm strong and God fearing. I don't know. It's hard to describe myself in one word. I would say strong, and God fearing. Like I feel like those are 2 words that would describe me. I know that I've had that strength to overcome everything I've overcame. So I got to stay strong.
Yes, definitely. Do you plan on being an advocate for anybody that has been through molestation or even have family members that are in prison? Or it could be a lot of things, even mental health, since you are touch based in many of those areas.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely do. Like I said, I am working on some projects, and I hope, with some of these things that I'm working on, I can utilize those to help empower and inspire and motivate and help people, face some of the things they've dealt with. So, sooner or later, I'll put these things out here, and
Yeah.
hopefully, I can do some good work with them. I do also continue to, or plan to continue to help, create more resources and things for people with autism. Um, One of the biggest things I've dealt with, and one of the most difficult things to come to terms with, is have my son with autism. When he got that diagnosis, I was really depressed. I felt helpless as a mom. I felt like, why me? Why my son? And I just sat back and thought about all the things that my son would, all the challenges he would face. I thought about all the things that he would miss out on in his life. And now, as a mother, I look at what can I do to help him? What can I do to change, how the outcome of his life. So that's one of my life goals, and that's my passion purpose, is to work on more resources and things for people with disabilities, autism.
How are you managing being a mom, and not only being a mom, but you a mom of a football player and you a mom of a child with autism disorder. So how are you juggling all of this and still keeping your sanity?
I guess, like I said, this is my purpose in life. I realize that my purpose in life is to be doing what I'm doing right now. So, I actually, I really don't, I just never sit down. I constantly keep going. Like, people see me like, gosh, you are so different. Like, do you ever sit down? I'm like, no. I basically, I've got my son a lot of support, and I got him a lot of early intervention. So he's doing really well with his autism. And my older son, who's amazing. I can ask for a better son. He's just, God placed him in my life for a reason, girl, because he's patient, and he's like I said, one of the best people I've met. But he helps me out a lot, and I just basically, I keep going every day because I know it's important. I have to, but it's hard sometimes juggling two kids, one with autism, and then trying to be, a person that's involved in the community, and then to work in leadership. It's definitely hard, but I'm able to manage all those things. I pray about them every day. That's what I can say.
I bet. Because you have to.
Yeah,
It'll tear you down. And
yeah,
that's good that you gained your spiritual connection with God so that you're able to continue everything that you do every single day.
yeah.
And that's very, very important. What is one thing that you want to know of the superpowers that us women have?
What's the one thing I want to know?
As far as what do you want people to know about the superpowers that women have? I'm sorry.
I feel like us as women, we can do anything, honey. Anything we put our mind to, we can do. I feel like there is nothing between you and that person is doing with you what you want to do, that business or whatever else, but you put in the work. So I believe that you gotta, you know, um, pray about it, do the work, and trust in God.
That's so true. So with you going through so many things in your past life and within your current life, how can you have women find their true strength for their purpose in life?
I believe that you have to sit down and really think about what it is that wakes you up in the morning, gets you out of bed. What would you do for free? I think I found my purpose in life when I looked at what I enjoy doing and didn't get paid to do. And I believe that whatever that purpose is, do something every day to work on, living out that purpose, whether it's going out and helping people, whether it's opening up a business, whether it's, doing hair, whatever it is that you want to do, that God has given you the talent to do just naturally, that's your purpose.
Yeah,
So do that. Do it every day. Do something, or do something that you do something that actually is geared to your purpose every day.
That is so true. That is real
You
true.
do it every day, but you are on here to inspire
Girl,
women, to uplift us. So you're doing your purpose every day.
girl, I'm trying. I just feel like um women just need to be a lot more supportive with each other and love on each other, and,
Yes.
and not even think about which level a person is at or anything. I feel like sometimes our focus is out here instead of right here,
Yep.
when we really need to start finding our purpose and who we are. I think a lot of women do not know who they are. They are still battling, viewing everyone else instead of looking at themselves.
Mhm.
And that's something that I had to learn myself, you know.
Right.
And you know, we talk about this all the time. Just even have me to have this platform to be able to let women hear other women so they won't feel like they alone and they don't feel like they the only ones going through something. We
Right.
all been through something. Just because we don't look it doesn't mean that we aren't going through it. Because I go through stuff every day, especially
Right.
since my mom passed and everything. It's just we don't have to talk about it sometimes, but in conversations like this we need to hear it, because a lot of people wouldn't look at you now that they hear you now. They wouldn't be like, what, Gia, you went
Yeah.
through that?
Yeah. A lot of people have no idea. And that's just a fraction of some of the things I went
Oh
through. It's
yeah.
been way more than that. But like I said, I use that to empower me, and I use that to make, to motivate me to keep going. And I think a lot of women, we need to support each other. I love to see another woman winning. I just get excited when I see a woman winning, so I think we need to be more collaborative and more willing to support each other versus competition. It's not a competition. It's enough out here for everybody.
It is. And I think where it falls into competition is the fact of not knowing your personal gifts that God gave you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, your competition with someone else has nothing to do with you. It has something to do with you on the inside,
Yep.
because your gifts is different. Everybody is different. We're not made the same. So our outcomes are going to be different. You
Yep.
may even be surpass me. That's like you want to start a podcast. Your stuff could go like this instantly with somebody else compared to somebody else that started theirs 5 years ago.
Yeah.
But
And like,
it's a difference. You just got to keep working hard. You got to still find yourself.
yeah. And God, like you said, everything that you're meant to be, it's already inside of you, and God has a plan for you. So you have to trust in Him and trust that process. And don't worry about everybody else's plan and everybody else's purpose. Like I said, God has an individualized plan designed just for you. So that's one thing I could say, focus on that.
Yes, definitely. So, what goes through your mind when you think of women that are trying to find themselves?
Um, and I say this all the time. Like I said, when you're trying to find yourself, think about what it is that you can wake up and do every day over and over again. Think about what it is that you can wake up and do for free. Think about what it is that you're doing that excites you. So, and whatever that is, that's what you need to be doing. Trust that that's God's gift to you, and do it.
Yes, that is so true.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, sometimes we find ourselves pasting ourselves, making excuses, or thinking that we can't do it. But
Yep.
if we just go out there and do it and not even think about anything that'll come with it, if you fail, get back up.
Yep. Yep.
Like, that is just plain and simple. It may hurt that you failed, but you need to go back and see what you did wrong so you can pick yourself back up, and you can either redo it again a different way, or you can find something else that you feel as though you are better at.
Yep, yep. And that's you exactly right. Like, that may not be what you're supposed to be doing. Use everything as an opportunity to learn from it. And if you do something and you're not successful in it, don't hesitate to try. Failure
Yeah.
is a stepping stone to success. And I believe that some of the best lessons come from areas of failure. So don't give up because of that. Keep
Yeah.
going, keep trying again.
Yeah. You know, even with myself, I failed on a lot of things. On a
Girl.
whole lot of things, but it made me a better person. It made me view things different. It humbled me, and everything, and it brought calmness to me because I know I didn't want to fail again.
Yeah.
Even though I may fail again, but in something else, I'm gonna learn from that too, but I won't fail again, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just a lot of things that we just need to master, and we need to put it into place so that we can feel better
Yeah.
about ourselves and our path in life.
Yeah, my pastor said, made a quote, one sermon. He said, you know, be experienced at falling and getting back up. And I think I'm really experienced in that. I've been falling a lot. I've fallen in every area and aspect of life, but girl, I sure know how to get back up.
Seriously, man,
I will get back up and with grace and fix my hair and keep going. Okay.
Yes, it'll make you cry for a few days, but you're gonna be like, all right, let me get myself together. Let me now.
Yeah, get back up, honey. Get up and let's keep going. Don't fall and stay down. Fall and get back up. You know? That's the most important thing.
Especially, it's also important having a team of women that you surrounded by that supports you. Like, girl, you better get up.
Yep.
With you.
Yep.
Like, you know, just hype you up. You know, you need those DJ Khaled's and
and that's exactly what I have. I have a group of friends. Y'all, I know people always see me hang with Jamila, Summer, and Jasmine, and and man, them girls make me think I can accomplish the world. Girl, Gia, do that, girl. Yeah, go ahead. Girl, don't let that bother you. Honey, no, keep going. And so I love it. I mean, and I told my friends, part of the reason why I'm doing some of the things I'm doing today, you know, is because of them too. You know, they built me up to think I can accomplish and overcome anything. So that's important. That's a real important aspect of my life is my friendships. Like my friends are so supportive. They believe in me. You know, sometimes I'm like, girl, I don't think I can do it. Girl, Gia, honey, yes, you can do it. You can.
Yeah, and that's good.
Yeah.
So what you even doing that, even though, you know, we done been through so much in life, what is one thing you know now about women and overcoming hardships you wish you had known early on in life?
I wish I would have kept going. I feel like I encountered some, you know, hard times and some challenges in life. And I let that, you know, make me think I couldn't do something. I let that stop me, and I let that kind of, you know, stunt my growth. And I wish I'd have known back then that those are just, you know, those are just things that you need to learn from. Don't let those things stop you, but keep going forward. So when I face certain challenges in life, I've allowed them to stop me and make me doubt myself instead of, you know, overcoming those. But now I feel like, you know, when I experience things now, I feel like it's a learning opportunity and I keep going. So I wish earlier in life I would have had that same perspective and mindset to keep going, you know, even when I face challenges and obstacles and things like that.
Yeah, I know. I had that feeling too. Like I was giving up so much on so many things. I'm like, dang, I wish I did this. I wish I did that. But it's like when we get older and come to our senses, we be like, man, I ain't doing that again.
And what I tell people is quit putting, you know, when you're going to start to accomplish and achieve and live life. Don't put life on hold. Don't say I'll do that tomorrow. No.
Next year I'm gonna start this. Next year I'm gonna do that. Or that's even simple as, you know, us we saying we gonna work out. We like I'm gonna wait till Monday and work out. Right. No, let's work out now.
Today. Right. Yeah.
I want them people.
Girl, you've been riding that bike for for 7 months.
Yes, a whole 7 months.
Yeah, I wish I wouldn't have put off working on my goals and dreams till now. Like my life has changed tremendously in the last 3 years. Like I said, that one life coaching session with Brandy like really changed my perspective on life. And then, you know, strengthening my relationship with God. I wish I would have did these things years ago because I could have been so much further in my life. But you know, there's no point in thinking on the past. You know, all I can do now is take advantage of the time and the opportunities that are in front of me now and keep going.
Yes, you have to. You have to keep going. And I want to say personally, like I am so proud of you.
Thank you.
Like, I'm so proud of you, the woman that you became. You always been this woman, but I see a lot of growth in you, and I see how you just shifted a lot of things in your life to bring peace to yourself. And it shows how much, like, yearly of you finding yourself more and loving yourself more and setting boundaries in your life
Yep.
for you to be able to excel to a different level.
Yep. It's okay to put yourself first. It's okay to work on you. I believe that if I can't be the best mom to my kids unless I'm the best me. So I don't feel like it's selfish of me to work on myself, because part of me working on me impacts my son's benefit from that. So the more doors and opportunities that I can open for myself, the more doors and opportunities I can open for them.
Yes, and that is so true.
Mhm.
And just being a healed parent help your kids stay healed.
Yeah, yeah. Because sometimes a damaged parent can raise damaged children. So it's important to address whatever kind of trauma and things you've been through, because you pour those things into your children. You impact your children with that trauma and things like that. So it's important to address and face those things so you can be the best parent.
Yes. And that's so important. And one thing I could say, you a damn good mom.
Thank you, girl. If it wasn't for God, because listen, I was given, when my son got diagnosed with autism, I was like, oh my God, I went into like a space, like I felt like he was gonna be helpless. I felt like he was gonna be helpless, honey. He not helpless.
You was if I wouldn't even think that. Even if it was like at that moment you were like, bet my son, I wouldn't even think that because of the type of person and mother you are.
Yeah.
Sometimes if we don't strengthen our kids the way we are strengthening ourselves, it won't work for us. But if you give your kids and you treat them as though they're normal, you will start to see normalcy in them.
Yeah.
And that's what you do. You don't dump them down. And sometimes we can't do that to anybody within our family. But when you bring that confidence, you a type of person that bring confidence to people, and you're pouring into your child to a point he won't have to be that way when nobody even know it.
Girl, listen, if I would have listened to the diagnosis of the doctors, your son's never going to talk. He's never going to be like a typically developing child. He's going to require substantial support his entire life. That was kind of the diagnosis I got, and that was really grim in my opinion. But I prayed about it, and I asked God to give me the strength to advocate him and get him all the help he needed, and that's exactly what I did. But one of the best things that could have happened to me, or could have been someone said to me, I have a friend named Erica, and we were at work one day, and I was in work crying. I was like, girl, I said, my son ain't talking. He in school now. He not doing everything everybody else is doing. I just felt so helpless. She's like, Gia, stop. You need to start having expectations for Grayson. That was one of the best things, and that was the best piece of advice I could have had, because instead of me saying he can't do this, he can't do that, I'm like, my son, I don't care if he does have autism, he's gonna be the best person with autism that I've ever known. So I work every day. I'm gonna make sure he lives the best life he can.
Yeah, because you gave yourself affirmation that he can do it. Sometimes whatever we speaking out, that's what it's going to continue to be. While you saying my son isn't this, my son isn't that, you transition that to my son is going to be talking. Is going to be, just changing it. And we need to do that for ourselves too. If we start believing in what we say and we speak it out loud as though it is happening now, it'll eventually happen.
Speak life into yourself. Speak life into your children. And don't say they're not capable of doing things. Like my son, I said my son's gonna be a world-renowned surgeon or a chef or something. He's gonna be somebody amazing. And so I think that having those expectations and knowing that my son is capable and treating him like he's capable is important.
Yes, it's very, very important. And you're doing it.
Yeah. Thank you, Vet, because sometimes I feel like I'm failing. I'm like, oh God, Lord Jesus, these kids.
No, that's just the perfection portion of you.
Yeah, I am a perfectionist.
Yes. You want everything to just be like this.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I mean, both of us is like that for
Yeah.
real. It's like we
Yeah.
feel like we still not doing enough and
Yeah.
we want more, just push ourselves to do greater.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with it though.
No, nothing at all. Yeah, you are. When I see you working, I said, dang, she just started that. Wow. And then I see you produce something else. I said, man, this girl is on the move. You girl, honey, you are not playing with whatever you working on a lot, and you are making it happen. And I admire you and your success. But I think you're doing some amazing things. You're such an inspiration.
Thank you. It's hard. It's not easy.
Well, you're doing it.
It's not easy. My goal one day is to have someone interview me.
I do it. I'm gonna interview you, that.
I believe you too. Between you and Brandy.
Yeah. We're gonna have to get something together, honey. All three of us.
I think it was so I'm gonna have a bunch of people to team up on me.
We gonna get you together, Bet.
Yes. That's so funny. Well, in closing, could you share something real inspirational that women can take home with them and keep it within them and always remind themselves? Gia did say that.
If I could share something with women, I would just say, honey, you are capable and able. I believe in you. You can do whatever it is you want to do. If it's open that business, if it's get that leadership position, if it's, become a performer, whatever it is you want to become, it's already in you to become it. Believe in yourself and work on it every day. Don't let anybody discourage you from doing what it is that you were born to do.
Yes, definitely.
I believe in you, girl. I believe in all y'all women out there. I believe you can do whatever it is you want to do. I'm cheering for you. I'm rooting for you. And I'm praying for you.
Yes, definitely. Oh, thank you.
Thank
for
you.
being on my show, even though that's another story.
I was so nervous to be in your show, but I appreciate the opportunity, honey. Like I said, you out here uplifting and inspiring all these women, and thank you for giving me this opportunity to share my story on your podcast.
Oh, you're welcome. We got more to come.
Yes, honey.
Well, thank you.
Thank you so much, and take care.
Thanks, you too. Bye-bye.